Welcome to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. My name is Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you to help you shift your mindset and improve your life. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring different areas of life, discussing how to make positive changes. Now, I'll be doing this by interviewing guests who can provide additional perspectives and their experiences. I believe that by making a mindset shift, we can all unleash our full potential and create the lives we want to live. I hope you'll join me on this journey. Welcome to Mindset Unleashed podcast, where we delve into the power of the mind and its profound impact on our lives. I'm your host, Tommy Gucciardo, and today we're going to peel back the layers of self-doubt. Now, have you ever felt the weight of self-doubt holding you back from taking that leap? Well, you're in good company because you're not alone. Myself personally, and I'm sure everybody else there, have doubted themselves at some point or the other. They weren't worthy of something, they're not. They got passed over for that job and they're just doubting themselves. Like for me, it's like starting this podcast, right? I wanted everything to be perfect. I overanalyzed everything. I want the lighting to be right. I want the camera to be right. I want the video and the audio to be right, right? So I took a lot of steps because I was doubting myself and I was doubting, what I was able to do, right? And for me, it was just taking that step and taking that action and just starting, right? And it helped me to see that I'm okay at doing what I'm doing, right? Just to go and do it. Just take the shot, and whatever happens from it's going to happen to it, right? And self-doubt stops you from taking action. So today, why don't you join me as we explore the depths of self-doubt and discover how to break free from its grips. So if you do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. We have an empowering journey ahead of us, so let's dive in. So what is self-doubt, right? What exactly is self-doubt? It's that subtle little whisper that's questioning our abilities and our worth. Really, what is it saying? Can I really do this, right? And I know we've all felt that at one point in our lives, right? We've all doubted ourselves. We all weren't worthy of something, and there's this, I've been starting to read a little bit and I picked different quotes and different things, but I saw something from William Shakespeare and it said, our doubts are traitors and it makes us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. What is that saying? That means doubt makes us quit. And there's been so many things I've quit on in my life because I just didn't follow through. I didn't think I was good enough. I've had businesses that I failed. I've had relationships that I failed. I've had jobs that I failed at because I didn't think I was good enough. And it was also part of my addiction. My addiction made me feel less than or not capable of doing something. And when you start doubting yourself, that fear sets in. And it makes you not take any action or think that you're good enough for anything. And that's farthest from the truth, man. Because I know today I have some worth and I'm good at what I do, right? So, really, with self-doubt, we have to understand the roots of self-doubt. And that's the key to unlocking our inner power, right? So let's kind of work through this. Let's find out, why that small voice always says, we're not worthy. And that small voice, that impacts our personal development. And there's some triggers that cause this, right? And for me, it's the past experiences. What happened in your childhood, right? And, it could be get picked last for the baseball team. It could be, your friends, you try to make friends with people and they don't like you for some reason, right? It could be a relationship you had, in your past that didn't work out and that doubts, what you're doing in the future. So, things that happen in your past, they shape your self-doubt, right? So, we can't always live in our past because when we're living in our past, we're living in those problems. We're not doing anything about it. So it's easy for that fear to set in, for that doubt to set in. And when you're not doing anything about it, that's a terrible place to live. So experience shapes self-doubt, right? Another thing that's really, really and I know I'm like this too, it's the worries and the overanalyzing of everything. Like I said earlier, right? even with this podcast, I'm going to go back to the podcast. You know, I worried over every single thing except do what I wanted to do and give a message, right? Give a message that we can get better one day at a time, right? And, you know, the fear of success, you know, that's so linked to self-doubt. It has so much connection to it. And, you know, when you fear something, you know, it's a scary place, right? It makes you paralyzed. It makes you not want to do anything. And that doubt creeps in, you know, and, you know, then we start overanalyzing the littlest things, you know, what somebody said or what somebody did, or, you know, and is somebody talking about me, you know, and that just leads to lack of self-confidence, you know, and another thing for me is tough love, you know, tough love, it could be an effective motivator in the short term, but long term, it doesn't really work, right? Because you're repeatedly criticizing yourself, it could do more harm than good. And it can make that doubt stick in your head, right? You know, I'm the biggest critic of myself. I could do everything great. I could have the best day in the world, and I could always find something wrong with it. And I could always criticize myself and give myself that tough love. And, you know, that's not healthy. It's really not healthy, right? So, you know, we want to live a healthy life. We want to have positive things going on in our lives, not negative things going on in our lives. So now that we have a couple of the triggers, a couple of the causes, how do we overcome this? And, you know, the biggest thing for me right now is practicing self-compassion. You know, self-doubt really means you're holding your back. It's holding yourself back. You know, it arises from that fear of making a mistake. But sometimes in those mistakes, we can grow and we can improve our own abilities, right? So don't be afraid, you know? Don't be afraid. You know, go out there and take shots, you know? And when it comes to self-compassion, you know, do some positive affirmations on a daily basis, right? Make yourself feel good about yourself. You know, start your day in a positive light, you know? And that affects your daily, you know, how you start your day, is crucial for the rest of your day. You know, I just read a really, really good book by Mel Robbins, right? It's called The High Five Habit. And in that high five habit, you know, she talks about the simple, just high-fiving yourself gives you that energy and that feeling of, hey, you did something great, right? You know, and it's true. Like, you know, baseball player hits a home run, he comes in, they high-five him. You get a touchdown, you high-five, right? So when we relate that high-five is to something positive, right? So you high-fiving yourself in the morning in the mirror just give you that positive action, that jolt of energy that gets you through the day. You know, and, you know, I've seen this a lot and people talk about this a lot. And, you know, I think it's really important, the art of journaling, right? Journaling is a tool for self-discovery. Like, I have so many things that go on during the day and you just can't keep them in your head, right? So what I do now is I'll stop and I'll write things down. You know, I'll write a little thought down. I'll write, you know, an idea down. And now this idea is taking shape. Instead of staying in my head, it's on a piece of paper, right? And then you take action on it. You can look back at it and say, hey, listen, that's a great idea. And that's no good. You cross that off the list. But, you know, it helps to get that, you know, creating a positive mindset through that written reflection. And that's really, really, really important, right? Getting the stuff out of our head, because our head and our mind could be a dangerous place. I know it's, for me, is a dangerous place. So the more I get things out, the better I feel, you know? And, you know, this for me is really, really important because, you know, recognizing the role of a supportive network. Now, I never had a support. I mean, I've had people who've supported me in the past, but once I got into recovery, I really started to understand what a network is, right? And, you know, those are like-minded individuals that have the same, you know, goals, the same, you know, things that go on in their life. And they're able to encourage you and get you through things. You know, there's challenging times, right? And how do you get through those times, you know, if you're keeping them to yourself? That's why I said before about journaling, right? but also about getting the right people in your life, getting the right people that help you. And listen, we could all have people that we could have a ton of friends, but it's that core network, right? That want the same thing, that need the same thing, that do the same thing. That helps you with that self-doubt and that fear, right? Because you're able to talk to somebody about it. Say, hey, listen, this is what I'm going through right now. I went through that before. This is how I got through it. Or we'll do this together. So it's just kind of like, it helps you with, get that strength to move forward. And another thing is building resilience, right? So we all gonna fail. Listen, incarcerated, divorces, businesses went bad, relationships went bad. I can go on and on with these lists of things that happened to me. But what did I do with those things? Did I take them and just say, all right, they happened? No, you learn from them and you get better with them. And you have to build resilience when these setbacks happen. Get stronger from them, know that they're going to happen, and get better from them, right? And that's how we take those challenges and we make them opportunities for growth. Or we could sit with them and create fear and doubt in our head and not do anything about them. But for me, I'd rather take them as an opportunity to grow from. And the last thing I really want to talk about is that comparison trap. That's a dangerous, dangerous place to be, right? My journey and your journey and the next person's journey, we're all different, right? So to compare one's journey to others is really not a great place to be, right? And it just, your time is going to come when your time is going to come. You just have to continually work at things and just go down your path, right? And be open and embrace change. Don't be fearful and just take action, right? And your journey will get there. So don't compare yourself to others because you don't know what's really going on in other people's lives. Just because it looks good doesn't really know what's going on the inside, right? So, focus on your own personal progress. So, I know we talked about a lot of things today, and I hope this helped, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. We dived into some of the intricacies of self-doubt, today. And, if any of these ideas resonated with you or any of the insights shared today, resonated with you, and you're ready to go to the next step, hit that subscribe, button for more empowering content. And, we're here for you. We're here for you. We want your feedback. We want to help you get better. And your journey to confidence and self-discovery continues with each and every episode, right? I'm your host, Tommy Gucciardo. I want to thank you for joining us today. And please, if you could, subscribe now. And let's keep unleashing the power of your mindset together. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.